You need to stop what you're doing right now and check your pocket. I'm serious, because there are wheat pennies, regular-looking 1-cent coins that people are spending every single day, and they are hiding hidden wealth that could completely flip your life upside down. Nobody talks about these. Not your bank, not the cashier, not even most collectors. But behind that worn copper surface could be a silent fortune worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. I've seen the auction records. I've seen collectors fighting. Real auction shock. And today, we're exposing the top 2 most valuable, ultra-rare wheat pennies that look completely ordinary. Do not spend these coins. Each one gets rarer. Each one gets scarier. And by the end of this video, you're going to realize these coins change everything. Now let's talk about the first one. And this one is dangerous to ignore. Coin 1. I'm going to start this one differently, because this coin doesn't scream money, it whispers it. And that's what makes it dangerous. The 1956 wheat penny with no mint mark looks like something you'd toss into a jar without thinking twice. Brownish red copper, Lincoln on the front, wheat stalks on the back. Ordinary, forgettable. But if you ever see one with a strange grey spot on the obverse, especially in beautiful original condition, you might be staring at a $385,000 mistake. Yes, $385,000. And most people would spend it on coffee. Do not spend this coin. 1956 was not just another year. America was in the thick of post-war economic pressure. The Cold War tension was real. Industry was expanding fast. The US Mint was under production stress to keep up with commerce exploding across the country. Vending machines, diners, corner stores, pennies were moving at insane volume. That pressure created something collectors obsess over: speed. When mints push metal fast, mistakes happen. Dies wear down. Planchets get mishandled. Subtle anomalies sneak through. And sometimes, rarely, a batch develops unusual surface reactions, like the mysterious grey spotting seen on certain 1956 no mint mark cents. Now here's what most people miss. No mint mark on a 1956 penny means it was struck in Philadelphia. And during that year, Philadelphia was cranking out massive numbers. But mass production doesn't mean mass survival in pristine form. In fact, it's the opposite, because pennies were workhorses. They circulated hard. They got tossed in pockets, dropped on sidewalks, scraped across counters. Finding a 1956 wheat penny in beautiful condition today, with original toning intact, is already uncommon. But finding one with that distinctive grey spot formation, untouched, uncleaned, and perfectly preserved, that's where things get serious. Let's talk about what you're actually holding. The obverse features Abraham Lincoln's right-facing profile, designed by Victor David Brenner. In God we trust, arches above. Liberty sits to the left. The date, 1956, rests cleanly on the right. No mint mark below the date, and that absence is critical. Flip it over. The reverse shows 2 wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. E pluribus unum curves along the top. This wheat design ran from 1909 to 1958. And collectors love the final years of the series because they represent the end of an era before the Lincoln Memorial reverse took over in 1959. Now let's talk metal. This coin is composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. It weighs approximately 3.11 grams. The diameter is 19 millimeters. Thickness is about 1.52 millimeters. Smooth edge, compact, solid. When you hold it between your fingers, it feels small, almost insignificant. But that weight, that tiny disc of copper, it can carry a silent fortune. The grey spotting phenomenon on certain 1,956 pennies is believed to be tied to plancher contamination or metal mixture irregularities under minting pressure. When struck, the surface reacted differently over decades. Instead of even toning, you get this smoky, greyish patch, usually on the obverse, that serious collectors recognize instantly. Here's the twist. Amateur collectors often think it's damage. They try to clean it. They polish it. They scrub it with baking soda or chemicals. And the second they do that, value destroyed. Forever. Never clean this coin. Original toning matters more than shine. That antique surface, even with darkness or spotting, is proof of authenticity and untouched survival. Once you strip that away, you erase history and hundreds of thousands of dollars. Professional grading is critical, because when a coin like this hits the auction block authenticated and graded high, especially mint state with strong luster and minimal contact marks, the room changes. Auction behavior gets quiet, then tense, then aggressive. Collectors don't laugh, they lean forward, because high-grade survivors from heavily circulated years are disappearing. Supply shrinks every year. Serious collectors hold them. They don't resell quickly. They lock them away. And demand? It keeps rising. Why? Because this isn't just copper. It's the final stretch of the wheat penny era. It's post-war America. It's mint stress under economic expansion. It's a visual anomaly that sparks obsession. Collectors fixate on tiny details, the clarity of Lincoln's jawline, the sharpness of the wheat kernels, the exact shade of red-brown versus chocolate toning, the position and texture of the grey spot. They examine die-polish lines. They inspect the rims for weakness. They analyze strike sharpness under magnification. Most people miss this. They see a penny. Collectors see controlled rarity. And when one surfaces in beautiful condition, especially with that unusual obverse grey spotting that survived untouched, bidding wars erupt. $385,000 is not fiction. That's serious money. That's life-changing opportunity money. That's you were holding a fortune and didn't know it money. Now let me warn you again. Do not spend this coin. Check for the year first, 1956. Then check for no mint mark under the date. Then examine the surface under soft light. Look for unusual grey spotting that appears natural. Not corrosion, not active damage, but stable toning variation. If you think you've found one, do not clean it. Do not wipe it. Even rubbing it with your shirt can leave micro scratches that graders will see instantly. Send it to a professional grading service. Authentication changes everything. Condition determines destiny. And here's something powerful most people ignore. Patience creates wealth in coin collecting. The collectors who made fortunes didn't rush. They didn't sell the first week. They held. They waited for the right auction environment. They understood timing. This detail changes everything. Because the market for rare wheat pennies isn't shrinking. It's intensifying. As more people learn, more people search. As more coins get damaged or cleaned, pristine survivors become even rarer. So somewhere right now, in a jar, drawer, or old bankroll, there could be a 1,956 wheat penny with no mint mark and a quiet grey signature, hiding as a silent fortune. And someone is about to spend it on gas. Don't let that be you, us. Because what comes next? The second coin in this video makes this one look common. It's rarer. It's more explosive. And if you think $385,000 is shocking, wait until you see what collectors are willing to pay for the next one. Next up, you're not ready for this one. Because this coin was born in a year when America was exhausted, rebuilding, transitioning, and nobody was paying attention to pennies. And that's exactly why this one is so dangerous. The 1946 wheat penny with no mint mark, especially the brown-grey example with scratches on both sides in very fine condition, has stunned collectors with auction results touching $399,000. Let that sink in. Almost $400,000. For a coin, most people would throw into a tip jar. This is not fiction. This is hidden wealth hiding in plain sight. And if you ever see a 1946 penny without a mint mark, you need to slow down immediately, because what looks worn, scratched, even slightly ugly, might actually be a silent fortune. Do not spend this coin. Now let's step back into 1946. World War II had just ended. Soldiers were coming home. Factories were shifting from tanks to toasters. The US economy was under massive transition. There were metal supply adjustments, labor shifts, and production rebalancing across the country. The US Mint in Philadelphia, which produced coins without mint marks, was under enormous pressure to normalize coinage after wartime disruptions. During the war years, pennies had briefly shifted to steel in 1943 because copper was needed for ammunition. By 1946, copper coinage was back, but the infrastructure had just endured years of strain. Dies were reused longer than ideal. Planchets weren't always perfectly uniform. Quality control wasn't what modern collectors expect today. And under that stress, subtle variations slipped through. Now here's what makes the 1946 no mint mark penny so emotionally powerful to collectors. It represents the first full year after the war ended. It's symbolic. It marks survival, recovery, national reset. Collectors don't just buy metal. They buy moments in American history. Let's talk about what you're physically holding. On the obverse, you see Abraham Lincoln facing right, calm, steady, symbolic. In God we trust, above his head. Liberty to the left. The date, 1946, to the right. And importantly, no mint mark under the date, meaning it came from Philadelphia. Flip it over. The reverse displays the iconic wheat stalk design framing 1 cent and United States of America, with E pluribus unum arching above. This wheat design ran from 1909 to 1958 and 1946 sites in that emotionally charged post-war window collectors deeply respect. The coin's composition: 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc. Weight, approximately 3.11 grams. Diameter, 19 millimeters. Thickness, about 1.52 millimeters. Smooth edge, compact, unassuming. You could balance it on your fingertip and never imagine it represents a life-changing opportunity. Now here's where things get interesting. You mentioned brown-gray surfaces with scratches on both sides in very fine condition. Most people hear scratches and immediately assume damage equals worthless. That's the trap. In circulated coins, especially from transitional years like 1946, natural wear patterns and honest circulation marks actually confirm authenticity and survival. Very fine condition means moderate, even wear, but all major details remain clear. Lincoln's hair strands visible, wheat kernels still distinct, lettering strong. Collectors study those surfaces intensely. They look at the color. Brown-gray toning often signals decades of natural oxidation. That muted antique finish, it proves originality. Original toning matters. If someone tries to polish that coin to make it shiny, they erase the history. They erase the value. Never clean this coin. I don't care how dull it looks. I don't care if you think it'll improve it. Cleaning destroys microscopic surface texture that professional graders inspect under magnification. And professional grading is critical here, because when a 1946 no-min mark wheat penny with rare surface characteristics and strong detail gets authenticated and graded, the bidding behavior changes. It starts quietly. 2 collectors, then 3, then phone bidders jump in. Because here's the truth most people miss. High-grade survivors from 1946 are disappearing. Many were melted, mishandled, or cleaned over the decades. Circulated examples in honest, very fine condition with stable brown-gray patina and consistent scratch patterns from circulation, not damage, are becoming harder to source. And collectors know it. Why does this specific example command nearly $399,000? It's about rarity layered with demand. It's about transitional year symbolism. It's about surface character. It's about eye appeal that photographs don't fully capture. Collectors fixate on tiny details. The spacing in Liberty, the clarity of Lincoln's cheekbone, the alignment of the date, the texture inside the wheat stalk lines, even the direction of scratches. Are they consistent with pocket circulation or harsh cleaning? Most people miss this. They glance for 2 seconds and move on. But advanced collectors spend 20 minutes examining one coin. And here's something else. Philadelphia minted hundreds of millions of pennies in 1946. That sounds common. But survival in collectible condition is the real filter. Out of millions, only a microscopic percentage remain desirable to high-end buyers. And those buyers? They are not casual. They are competitive. They are patient. They hold, not flip, which means supply shrinks every year. Demand rises every year. And when one surfaces with the right look, even in very fine, auction energy spikes. $399,000 is not about copper. It's about timing. It's about condition. It's about story. It's about being one of the few survivors from a year when America exhaled after war. This is serious money. This is silent fortune. This is the kind of coin someone unknowingly dumps into a Coinstar machine. And that should scare you. So here's what you need to check immediately. Look for 1946 on the date. Confirm no mint mark under the year. Examine the surfaces under soft light, not harsh LED glare. Look for natural brown-gray toning, not artificial shine. Study the scratches. Do they look old and consistent, or fresh and harsh? Do not attempt to fix anything. Do not wipe it. Do not dip it. Do not experiment. If you believe you have a strong example, send it to a reputable professional grading service. Authentication transforms a penny into an asset. And remember this, patience creates wealth. Collectors who rush to sell rarely maximize value. Those who understand timing, market cycles, and buyer psychology are the ones who unlock hidden wealth. Stay till the end of this journey with US MintX, because coins like this are not just collectibles. They are opportunities hiding in your spare change. And if you think a scratched brown-gray penny from 1946 can't possibly be worth nearly $400,000, just wait until you see what's quietly sitting in circulation from an even earlier year, a coin so rare, so misunderstood, that collectors don't just compete for it. They hunt for it.